Mentally strong people are not born different. They don't have easier lives, better luck, or fewer struggles. What sets them apart is something far more powerful. They have habits, simple, repeatable habits that shape how they think, how they move, and how they respond to life every single day. And the beautiful truth is this: no matter your age, no matter your past, these habits are available to you right now. Mental strength is not something you are born with, and it is not reserved for a lucky few who seem to have everything figured out. It is built quietly through daily habits that shape how you think, feel, and respond to life over time. Every choice you make, no matter how small it seems, is either strengthening your mind or weakening it. Mentally strong people understand this deeply, especially as they grow older. They don't wait for motivation to appear or for life to become easier. They focus on what they can do today, right now, with the body and mind they have. A simple habit like waking up at the same time each morning creates stability in the brain. Drinking water, taking a few deep breaths, or stepping outside for fresh air signals safety to the nervous system. These small actions tell your mind that you are in control. Over time, this sense of control builds resilience. Mental strength grows from repetition, not intensity. It is not about dramatic changes, but about consistent care for yourself, even on ordinary days. Food plays a powerful role in this process. Mentally strong people don't treat eating as an afterthought. They know that what they put into their body directly affects their mood, focus, and energy. Choosing balanced meals, eating slowly, and staying hydrated helps reduce anxiety and emotional swings. For older adults, these habits become even more important because the brain thrives on steady nourishment. A well-fed body supports a calm and focused mind, making it easier to handle stress and uncertainty. Movement is another daily habit that builds mental strength. It doesn't have to be intense or exhausting. A gentle walk, light stretching, or simple exercises at home can release tension and improve mood. When you move your body regularly, you remind yourself that you are capable. This sense of capability strengthens confidence and reduces fear. Each time you choose to move, even when you don't feel like it, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. Mentally strong people also pay attention to their inner dialogue. They practice habits of speaking to themselves with patience instead of criticism. When mistakes happen, they learn rather than judge. This habit of self-compassion protects mental health and encourages growth. Over time, the mind becomes a place of support instead of pressure. The power of habits lies in their quiet consistency. You don't see dramatic results overnight, but day by day, your thoughts become steadier, your emotions more balanced, and your confidence more grounded. Mental strength is not about never feeling weak. It is about having habits that carry you through weakness with dignity and calm, proving that strength is something you practice, not something you wait for. Starting the day with intention is one of the most powerful habits mentally strong people develop, because the way you begin your morning often determines how you experience the rest of the day. When you wake up and immediately react to noise, notifications, worries, or memories, your mind is placed into defense mode before you even leave your bed. Mentally strong people choose a different approach. They pause, they breathe. They remind themselves that this moment belongs to them before it belongs to anyone else. This simple act of choosing intention over reaction creates emotional stability, especially as we grow older and value peace more deeply. Intention does not require long routines or complicated practices. It can begin with sitting up slowly, placing your feet on the floor, and taking a few deep breaths. This tells the nervous system that you are safe and present. Even a quiet thought like "today, I will move gently and think kindly," can set the tone for everything that follows. When the mind starts calmly, it becomes easier to respond thoughtfully instead of emotionally throughout the day. Mentally strong people understand that mornings are a powerful reset. Drinking a glass of water, opening a window, or stepping outside for fresh air wakes up the brain and body together. Light stretching or slow movement releases stiffness and improves circulation, which directly impacts mood and focus. For older adults, these small actions can reduce anxiety, improve balance, and bring a sense of grounded confidence before the day unfolds. What you consume mentally in the morning matters just as much as what you eat. Mentally strong people avoid filling their minds with negative news, complaints, or comparisons as soon as they wake up. Instead, they choose something uplifting, a calming thought, a short walk, or a moment of gratitude. This habit trains the brain to look for steadiness instead of stress. Over time, this creates emotional resilience that carries you through unexpected challenges. Starting the day with intention also supports healthier choices later. When your morning is calm, you are more likely to eat nourishing meals, move your body gently, and speak to others with patience. One intentional moment often leads to another. The day begins to flow instead of feeling rushed or overwhelming. This sense of flow builds trust in yourself and your ability to handle life as it comes. Even on difficult days, intention gives you an anchor. You may not control everything that happens, but you can always choose how you begin. That choice sends a powerful message to your mind that you are not helpless or behind. You are present. You are capable. You are allowed to move through the day at your own pace. Over time, this habit becomes a quiet source of strength, creating emotional balance, mental clarity, and a deeper sense of peace that stays with you long after the morning has passed. Morning calm has a powerful effect on the nervous system, especially as the body and mind change with age. When the day begins in a rush, the brain immediately releases stress hormones that tighten muscles, increase heart rate, and cloud thinking. Mentally strong people understand that calm in the morning is not a luxury, it is a foundation. By slowing down at the start of the day, they allow the nervous system to reset, creating a sense of safety that carries forward into everything they do. A calm morning does not require silence or perfection. It begins with awareness, waking up gently, avoiding sudden noise, and taking a few deep, slow breaths can signal the body to relax. This simple practice activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest, digestion, and emotional balance. When this system is engaged early in the day, anxiety decreases and focus improves naturally. Mentally strong people often create small rituals that encourage calm. Sipping warm tea, sitting near natural light, or stepping outside for a few minutes helps regulate internal rhythms. For older adults, these rituals can reduce stiffness, lower blood pressure, and improve mood. Calm mornings reduce the feeling of being rushed, which is a major source of stress and mental fatigue. Instead of feeling behind, you begin the day feeling present and capable. Light movement also plays an important role in resetting the nervous system. Gentle stretching, slow walking, or relaxed breathing exercises increase circulation without overwhelming the body. Movement releases tension stored in the muscles and helps the brain produce chemicals that promote calm and clarity. When the body feels relaxed, the mind follows. This connection becomes stronger with consistent practice. Morning calm also improves emotional regulation. When the nervous system is settled, it becomes easier to respond instead of react. Small irritations feel manageable. Unexpected changes don't feel as threatening. Mentally strong people are not free from stress, but their calm foundation allows them to handle it with greater ease. This emotional steadiness is especially valuable later in life, when preserving energy and peace becomes more important than rushing or proving anything. Creating a calm morning is also an act of self-respect. It sends a message to your mind that you deserve care and gentleness. Over time, this builds self-trust and emotional security. The brain learns that it does not need to stay in constant alert mode, which reduces chronic stress and supports long-term mental health. Even on busy days, a few moments of calm can make a difference. One deep breath, one slow stretch, one quiet thought can shift your entire internal state. With repetition, these moments add up. Morning calm becomes a habit that strengthens the nervous system, sharpens focus, and creates a steady emotional base that supports you throughout the day, allowing mental strength to grow quietly and naturally from a place of peace. Healthy food has a direct and powerful influence on mental clarity, emotional balance, and overall strength, especially as we grow older. Mentally strong people understand that what they eat is not just about satisfying hunger, but about supporting the brain that carries them through every thought, decision, and emotion. The brain needs steady nourishment to function well, and when it receives the right kind of fuel, thinking becomes clearer, moods become more stable, and energy feels more consistent throughout the day. When meals are rushed, unbalanced, or filled with processed foods, the brain experiences spikes and crashes that can lead to irritability, fatigue, and mental fog. Mentally strong people pay attention to how food makes them feel. They choose meals that include vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, and quality protein, because these foods support steady blood sugar and reduce inflammation. For older adults, this steadiness is especially important, as it helps maintain focus, memory, and emotional control. Hydration also plays a vital role in mental clarity. Even mild dehydration can cause confusion, headaches, and low energy. Mentally strong people make drinking water a simple daily habit, not something they remember only when they feel unwell. Water supports circulation and helps nutrients reach the brain more effectively. This small habit can create a noticeable difference in how alert and calm you feel. Eating slowly and mindfully is another habit that supports mental strength. When you take time to enjoy your food, the nervous system remains relaxed, aiding digestion and absorption. This calm state allows the brain to receive nourishment without stress. For many older adults, slowing down at meals becomes a powerful way to reconnect with the body and listen to its needs. Healthy eating also supports emotional resilience. The gut and brain are closely connected, and a balanced diet helps regulate mood. Foods rich in fiber, healthy fats, and natural nutrients support beneficial gut bacteria, which play a role in reducing anxiety and supporting positive emotions. When the body feels balanced, the mind becomes more resilient in the face of challenges. Mentally strong people do not aim for perfection in their diet. They focus on consistency and kindness. They allow flexibility while maintaining respect for their body's needs. This approach reduces guilt and creates a healthy relationship with food. Over time, nourishing meals become a form of self-care rather than control. Every balanced meal is an investment in mental clarity. Each healthy choice strengthens the connection between body and mind. As these choices accumulate, thinking becomes sharper, emotions become steadier, and confidence grows quietly. Mental strength is supported from the inside out, and it begins with the simple, daily act of choosing food that truly cares for the brain and body. Stable nutrition plays a crucial role in supporting emotional balance, especially as we age and become more sensitive to physical and mental changes. Mentally strong people understand that emotional ups and downs are often connected to what is happening inside the body. When nutrition is inconsistent, emotions can feel unpredictable, energy levels can drop suddenly, and stress can feel harder to manage. By choosing steady and nourishing eating habits, the mind gains a sense of balance that makes emotional strength easier to maintain. As we grow older, the body processes food differently, and sudden spikes in blood sugar can lead to irritability, anxiety, and fatigue. Mentally strong people avoid long periods without eating and extreme diets that disrupt this balance. Instead, they choose regular meals with a mix of protein, fiber, and healthy fats. This combination helps keep blood sugar steady, which directly supports calmer emotions and clearer thinking throughout the day. Protein plays an important role in emotional stability because it supports the production of neurotransmitters that regulate mood. Including protein in each meal, such as eggs, fish, beans, or yogurt, helps the brain maintain emotional equilibrium. Healthy fats, like those found in nuts, seeds, and olive oil, support brain structure and reduce inflammation. These nutrients work together to create a stable internal environment that supports emotional resilience. Stable nutrition also supports stress management. When the body is well nourished, it responds more calmly to challenges. Hunger or nutrient deficiencies can trigger the stress response, making small problems feel overwhelming. Mentally strong people reduce this unnecessary stress by honoring their body's needs. This is especially important for older adults who may experience increased sensitivity to stress and fatigue. Hydration is another key factor in emotional balance. Dehydration can cause mood changes, confusion, and irritability. Making water intake a regular habit supports circulation and brain function. Even small improvements in hydration can lead to noticeable emotional steadiness and improved focus. Mentally strong people approach nutrition with patience and consistency rather than control. They do not punish themselves for imperfect choices or chase strict rules. This gentle approach reduces emotional strain and builds a healthier relationship with food. Over time, eating becomes a supportive routine rather than a source of stress or guilt. Stable nutrition creates a foundation of emotional safety. When the body feels supported, the mind can relax. Emotions become easier to understand and manage. Confidence grows from feeling steady rather than reactive. As nourishing habits repeat day after day, emotional balance becomes more natural, allowing mental strength to deepen with calm assurance and quiet confidence that comes from caring for yourself in a sustainable way. Light, daily movement is one of the most powerful habits mentally strong people rely on to maintain confidence and independence, especially as they grow older. Movement is not about pushing the body to exhaustion or comparing yourself to others. It is about reminding yourself every single day that your body is still capable and worthy of care. When you move regularly, even in gentle ways, you strengthen not only your muscles and joints, but also your belief in yourself. Mentally strong people understand that the body and mind are deeply connected. When the body stays still for too long, stiffness increases, energy drops, and confidence slowly fades. Simple movements like walking, stretching, or light strength exercises improve circulation and reduce pain. This physical ease directly influences mental clarity and emotional stability. When your body feels more comfortable, your mind becomes calmer and more focused. For older adults, daily movement supports independence in everyday life. Being able to stand up easily, walk steadily, and move without fear builds a sense of freedom. Mentally strong people value this freedom and protect it through consistent movement. Each step taken, each stretch completed, reinforces the message that you are still in control of your life. This sense of control strengthens confidence from the inside out. Light exercise also plays a major role in reducing anxiety and low mood. Movement encourages the release of natural chemicals in the brain that improve mood and reduce stress. A short walk outdoors or gentle stretching indoors can lift emotional heaviness and restore a sense of balance. Mentally strong people don't wait to feel motivated to move. They move first, knowing that motivation often follows action. Consistency matters more than intensity. Mentally strong people choose movements they can sustain. This might be slow walking, chair exercises, light resistance training, or gentle yoga. These practices improve balance and coordination, reducing the risk of falls and increasing trust in the body. With each day of movement, fear is replaced with confidence, and hesitation slowly turns into belief. Daily movement also creates structure and purpose. Knowing that you will move your body, even for a short time, gives the day a positive anchor. This routine becomes a form of self-respect and discipline. Over time, movement becomes a familiar companion rather than a chore. As these habits repeat, confidence grows quietly. You begin to notice improved posture, steadier steps, and greater ease in daily tasks. Independence feels natural instead of fragile. Mental strength deepens as you realize that caring for your body through gentle movement is an act of empowerment. Each small effort builds resilience, proving that strength is not about doing more, but about showing up consistently and honoring your ability to keep moving forward with confidence and dignity. Exercise has a profound effect on mood, balance, and brain health, especially for older adults who want to maintain independence and emotional well-being. Mentally strong people recognize that movement is not only about physical fitness, but about keeping the mind sharp and the emotions steady. Even light exercise sends powerful signals to the brain that promote calm, focus, and resilience, making everyday challenges easier to handle. When you move your body, the brain releases natural chemicals that improve mood and reduce feelings of stress and sadness. This is why a short walk or gentle exercise session can immediately lift your spirits. For older adults, this effect is especially valuable because it provides a natural way to manage emotional ups and downs without relying solely on external solutions. Regular movement becomes a reliable source of emotional support. Balance is another area where exercise plays a critical role. As we age, balance can decline if it is not regularly practiced. Mentally strong people understand that maintaining balance is essential for confidence and safety. Simple exercises that challenge stability, such as standing on one foot, walking slowly and deliberately, or practicing gentle yoga, help strengthen the muscles and neural pathways responsible for coordination. Improved balance reduces the fear of falling, which often limits independence and increases anxiety. Exercise also supports brain health by increasing blood flow and oxygen to the brain. This improved circulation helps maintain memory, attention, and mental clarity. Mentally strong people use movement as a way to keep their minds engaged and alert. Activities that involve coordination or learning new movements, such as dancing or light strength training, stimulate the brain and encourage the formation of new neural connections. This keeps the mind flexible and responsive. Consistency is key to experiencing these benefits. Mentally strong people do not push themselves to extremes. They focus on regular, manageable exercise that fits their lifestyle and physical abilities. This approach prevents injury and builds a positive relationship with movement. Over time, exercise becomes a source of enjoyment and confidence rather than pressure. Exercise also encourages a deeper connection with the body. By paying attention to how movement feels, mentally strong people learn to respect their limits and strengths. This awareness promotes self-trust and reduces fear. When the body feels supported and capable, the mind follows with greater confidence and calm. As exercise becomes a regular part of daily life, its effects extend beyond the body. Mood stabilizes, balance improves, and the brain remains active and engaged. Confidence grows from knowing that you are taking active steps to care for your health. Mental strength deepens as movement becomes a steady companion, supporting emotional resilience, physical stability, and a clear, focused mind that continues to thrive with age and experience. Mentally strong people understand a powerful truth that many overlook. Confidence does not appear before action, it is created by action. Waiting to feel ready, fearless, or perfectly prepared only keeps you stuck. Strength grows when you move forward despite uncertainty. This habit becomes especially important as we age because hesitation and self-doubt can quietly shrink our world if we allow them to take control. Taking action does not mean making big or dramatic changes. It begins with small steps that feel manageable. Getting out of bed on a difficult morning, going for a short walk, making a healthy meal, or starting a task you've been avoiding are all forms of action. Each one sends a message to the brain that you are capable. That message slowly rewires your thinking and builds confidence from the inside out. Mentally strong people don't wait for motivation to show up. They understand that motivation is unreliable and often arrives only after action has already begun. When you take even a small step, momentum follows. The body moves, the mind shifts, and suddenly the task feels less overwhelming. Over time, this pattern teaches you to trust action rather than emotion. Fear often tries to protect us by encouraging comfort and avoidance. Mentally strong people acknowledge fear without obeying it. They understand that fear is not a stop sign. It is a signal that growth is happening. By acting anyway, they weaken fear's control and strengthen self-belief. This is especially empowering for older adults who may feel limited by past experiences or physical changes. Action also builds clarity. When you move forward, you learn what works and what doesn't. You gain information that thinking alone cannot provide. Mentally strong people use action as feedback rather than judging themselves harshly. This approach reduces self-criticism and replaces it with curiosity and growth. Each small action compounds over time. What begins as a simple habit becomes evidence of resilience. You start to see yourself differently, not as someone who waits or hesitates, but as someone who responds and adapts. Confidence grows quietly, built on real experiences rather than imagined outcomes. As this habit strengthens, life begins to feel more manageable. Challenges no longer seem overwhelming because you trust your ability to take the next step. You stop asking if you are ready and start asking what you can do now. Mental strength deepens as action becomes your anchor, proving again and again that confidence is not a requirement to begin, but a reward that comes from moving forward with courage and consistency, even when certainty is not guaranteed. Small steps taken consistently have the power to rebuild self-trust in a way that nothing else can. Mentally strong people do not rely on grand promises or dramatic changes to prove their worth to themselves. They understand that trust is built the same way it is in any relationship, through reliability. Each time you do what you said you would do, even in the smallest way, your mind begins to believe in you again. Self-trust is often damaged over time by broken intentions, not because of failure, but because life becomes overwhelming. You may have told yourself you would eat better, move more, rest properly, or take care of your emotional health, and then struggled to follow through. Mentally strong people don't punish themselves for this. They reset the scale of their promises. Instead of aiming for perfection, they commit to what is realistic and repeatable. A small step might be drinking a glass of water in the morning, taking a 10-minute walk, stretching before bed, or preparing one nourishing meal. These actions may seem insignificant, but the brain records them as evidence. Each repetition strengthens a sense of inner reliability. Over time, this quiet consistency becomes the foundation of confidence. For older adults, rebuilding self-trust is especially important because confidence can be shaken by physical changes, health challenges, or past disappointments. Small steps restore a sense of control. When you succeed at something manageable, your nervous system relaxes. You feel safer in your own body and mind. That sense of safety allows you to try slightly bigger steps without fear. Consistency also reduces mental fatigue. When habits are simple and predictable, the brain doesn't have to struggle with constant decision making. Mentally strong people design their habits to be easy to repeat. This removes pressure and increases success. Each day becomes an opportunity to reinforce self-belief rather than test willpower. Small steps also create momentum. One completed action makes the next one feel easier. A short walk leads to better sleep. Better sleep improves mood. Improved mood encourages healthier choices. This positive cycle builds naturally when steps are taken consistently instead of sporadically. As self-trust grows, self-doubt weakens. You stop questioning whether you can handle things because you have proof that you already are. Confidence becomes grounded and calm rather than forced or loud. Mentally strong people rely on this steady confidence, knowing it comes from actions repeated over time, not from sudden motivation. With each small step, you strengthen your relationship with yourself. You become someone you can count on. That reliability creates inner peace and resilience. Mental strength deepens as self-trust grows, allowing you to face challenges with quiet assurance, knowing that you will continue to show up for yourself one step at a time, regardless of how big or small that step may be. Protecting your mental environment is one of the most important habits mentally strong people develop because the mind absorbs what it is surrounded by every day. Just as the body reacts to the quality of food you eat, the brain responds to the quality of information, conversations, and emotions you are exposed to. When your environment is filled with negativity, noise, and constant tension, mental energy slowly drains. Mentally strong people take responsibility for what they allow into their mental space. This begins with awareness. Mentally strong people notice how certain voices, media, and situations affect their mood and thoughts. They recognize when constant complaining, dramatic news, or negative conversations leave them feeling anxious or exhausted. Instead of ignoring these effects, they make intentional choices to limit exposure. This is not avoidance, but self-respect. For older adults, protecting the mental environment becomes especially valuable. Life experience brings wisdom, but it can also bring accumulated stress if boundaries are not set. Mentally strong people choose peace over unnecessary engagement. They reduce time spent on sources that trigger worry or anger and replace them with calming or uplifting activities. Reading, gentle music, time in nature, or meaningful conversations nourish the mind and restore emotional balance. The people you spend time with also shape your mental environment. Mentally strong people value relationships that are supportive and respectful. They are mindful of interactions that leave them feeling drained or discouraged. While not all negativity can be avoided, choosing where to invest emotional energy makes a significant difference. This habit helps preserve emotional strength and prevents burnout. Internal dialogue is a major part of the mental environment. Mentally strong people pay attention to how they speak to themselves. Harsh self-criticism creates an environment of pressure and fear. Replacing it with calm, encouraging language transforms the mind into a place of support. This shift reduces anxiety and builds emotional resilience over time. Protecting the mental environment also includes creating physical spaces that promote calm. Simple actions like keeping living areas uncluttered, allowing natural light, or creating a quiet corner for rest help signal safety to the nervous system. These small changes make it easier to relax and focus. When the mental environment is protected, stress levels naturally decrease. The mind becomes clearer and more stable. Decisions feel easier because mental energy is not constantly consumed by unnecessary noise. Mentally strong people understand that peace is not something you find, it is something you create through daily choices. As this habit strengthens, emotional balance becomes more natural. You feel less reactive and more grounded. The mind feels like a safe place rather than a battlefield. Mental strength grows as you protect your environment with intention and care, allowing clarity, calm, and resilience to become your natural state instead of something you struggle to achieve. Positive self-talk is one of the most powerful tools mentally strong people use to build emotional resilience, especially as life becomes more complex with age. The way you speak to yourself shapes how you experience every situation. When inner dialogue is harsh or critical, the mind stays in a constant state of pressure. Mentally strong people learn to replace this pressure with encouragement, turning their inner voice into a source of support rather than stress. Self-talk often develops from years of repetition. Negative thoughts may feel automatic, but they are learned patterns, not permanent truths. Mentally strong people recognize this and gently challenge the stories they tell themselves. Instead of saying they are too old, too slow, or not capable, they choose words that allow growth. This shift does not ignore reality, but it frames challenges in a way that promotes strength rather than defeat. Positive self-talk does not mean pretending everything is easy or perfect. It means responding to difficulty with understanding. When mistakes happen, mentally strong people speak to themselves the way they would speak to someone they care about. They acknowledge effort, allow imperfection, and focus on what can be learned. This approach reduces shame and builds emotional stability. For older adults, positive self-talk is especially important because physical changes or life transitions can trigger self-doubt. Encouraging language helps maintain confidence during these moments. Reminding yourself that learning and growth continue at every stage of life creates a sense of possibility and purpose. This mindset supports emotional health and reduces fear of change. Positive self-talk also influences physical well-being. Encouraging thoughts reduce stress hormones and promote relaxation. When the mind feels supported, the body responds with greater ease. This connection strengthens emotional resilience and improves overall quality of life. Mentally strong people practice awareness of their thoughts without judgment. They notice negative patterns and replace them with statements that feel believable and kind. Over time, this repetition rewires the brain. The inner voice becomes calmer and more balanced, making it easier to navigate challenges without feeling overwhelmed. This habit extends into daily actions. Encouraging self-talk supports healthy choices like eating well, moving regularly, and resting when needed. It reinforces the belief that you deserve care and respect. As this belief grows, motivation becomes more natural and sustainable. Over time, positive self-talk creates a stable emotional foundation. Confidence becomes quiet and steady rather than fragile. Stress becomes more manageable because the mind feels like an ally instead of an enemy. Mental strength deepens as the inner voice grows kinder and wiser, guiding you through life with patience, compassion, and a sense of trust in your ability to handle whatever comes next. Accepting discomfort is a defining habit of mentally strong people. Because growth rarely happens in moments of ease, discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is often a signal that change is taking place. Many people spend their lives trying to avoid uncomfortable feelings, situations, or thoughts, but mentally strong people choose a different path. They allow discomfort to exist without letting it control their actions. Discomfort can show up in many forms. It may appear as fear when trying something new, frustration when habits are hard to change, or sadness during periods of loss or transition. Mentally strong people do not rush to escape these feelings. They understand that emotions are temporary experiences, not permanent states. By allowing discomfort to pass through without resistance, they reduce its power over time. For older adults, accepting discomfort becomes especially important. Physical changes, lifestyle shifts, and unexpected challenges can create uncertainty. Mentally strong people meet these moments with patience instead of panic. They focus on what they can control and allow themselves time to adjust. This acceptance reduces stress and preserves emotional energy. Breathing through discomfort is a simple but powerful practice. Slow, deep breathing calms the nervous system and creates space between feeling and reaction. This pause allows for thoughtful responses rather than impulsive decisions. Mentally strong people use this pause to choose actions aligned with their values instead of being driven by fear or avoidance. Accepting discomfort also builds emotional endurance. Each time you face something uncomfortable and survive it, your confidence grows. You learn that you are capable of handling difficult moments. This realization strengthens self-trust and reduces fear of future challenges. Mentally strong people do not judge themselves for feeling uncomfortable. They treat discomfort as a natural part of being human. This compassion prevents emotional burnout and promotes resilience. Instead of asking why something feels hard, they ask what they can learn from it. Over time, accepting discomfort creates freedom. When you stop fighting uncomfortable feelings, they lose their intensity. Life feels less overwhelming because you no longer fear temporary discomfort. This freedom allows you to take meaningful actions that align with your goals and values. As this habit becomes stronger, challenges feel more manageable, emotional reactions soften, and clarity increases. Mental strength deepens as you learn to coexist with discomfort without being ruled by it. This quiet resilience allows you to move through life with steadiness and courage, knowing that even difficult moments can be faced with calm awareness and inner strength that grows with each experience you choose to meet rather than avoid. Emotional control grows when you learn to focus on what you can manage instead of exhausting yourself over what you cannot change. Mentally strong people understand that life will always include uncertainty, unexpected events, and other people's behavior, none of which can be fully controlled. What can be controlled is how you respond. This shift in focus creates a powerful sense of stability and emotional strength. When attention is placed on things outside your control, the mind becomes restless and anxious. Worry increases, energy drains, and emotions feel overwhelming. Mentally strong people recognize this pattern and gently redirect their focus. They ask themselves what is within their influence in this moment. This might be their attitude, their breathing, their next small action, or the way they speak to themselves. By returning attention to these manageable elements, emotional intensity naturally decreases. For older adults, this skill becomes especially valuable. Life may present changes in health, routine, or relationships that cannot be reversed. Mentally strong people do not waste energy fighting reality. They accept circumstances as they are while choosing how to move forward. This acceptance does not mean giving up. It means conserving strength and using it wisely. Focusing on what you can manage also supports clearer decision making. When emotions are regulated, choices become calmer and more thoughtful. Mentally strong people pause before reacting. They take a breath, create space, and choose responses that align with their values. This habit reduces regret and increases confidence in their ability to handle difficult situations. Daily routines help reinforce this sense of control. Simple actions like preparing nourishing meals, taking a walk, practicing gentle movement, or resting when needed provide structure and predictability. These habits remind the brain that there are always areas of life that can be cared for, even during uncertain times. Mentally strong people also manage their emotional energy by setting boundaries. They limit engagement in situations that drain them emotionally and choose activities that restore calm. This selective use of energy prevents burnout and supports long-term resilience. Over time, this focus creates emotional steadiness. Instead of being pulled in many directions by worry or frustration, the mind becomes grounded. Confidence grows from knowing that you can handle what is within your reach. Emotional reactions soften because you are no longer trying to control the uncontrollable. As this habit strengthens, peace becomes more accessible. Life may remain unpredictable, but your inner response becomes reliable. Mental strength deepens as you learn to invest your energy where it truly matters, allowing emotional control to grow naturally through clarity, acceptance, and intentional action that supports calm and stability in every stage of life. Restful sleep is one of the most essential foundations of mental and emotional strength, yet it is often overlooked. Mentally strong people understand that the mind cannot function clearly without proper rest. Sleep is not a reward for productivity, it is a requirement for balance, focus, and resilience. As we grow older, quality sleep becomes even more important because the brain needs extra support to process emotions, store memories, and recover from daily stress. When sleep is inconsistent or disrupted, emotions become harder to manage. Small problems feel bigger, patience wears thin, and negative thoughts become louder. Mentally strong people protect their sleep because they know that a rested brain responds calmly instead of reacting emotionally. Even one night of better sleep can improve mood and clarity the next day. Creating an evening routine is a powerful habit that supports restful sleep. Mentally strong people slow down before bed. They dim the lights, reduce screen time, and choose calming activities. Gentle stretching, reading, or quiet reflection signals to the nervous system that it is safe to rest. These rituals help the body transition from alertness to relaxation. Sleep quality is also influenced by daily habits. Light exercise during the day improves nighttime rest by releasing tension and regulating energy. Balanced meals support stable blood sugar, which reduces nighttime cups. Avoiding heavy meals or stimulating substances late in the day helps the body settle more easily. Mentally strong people understand that sleep begins long before bedtime. For older adults, creating a comfortable sleep environment is especially important. A quiet, dark, and cool space supports deeper rest. Comfortable bedding and consistent sleep times help regulate internal rhythms. These small adjustments can make a significant difference in sleep quality. Mentally strong people also release mental tension before sleep. They do not carry the entire day into bed. Writing down worries, practicing slow breathing, or simply reminding themselves that tomorrow can be handled later helps calm the mind. This mental release allows sleep to come more naturally. Over time, prioritizing sleep strengthens emotional resilience. When the brain is well rested, it becomes easier to regulate emotions, make decisions, and handle stress. Confidence grows because you feel mentally prepared for the day ahead. Restful sleep supports memory, mood, and overall mental clarity. As this habit becomes consistent, the benefits extend into every area of life. Days feel more manageable, reactions soften, focus improves. Mental strength deepens quietly through rest that restores rather than exhausts. By honoring sleep as a vital form of self-care, you create a stable foundation that supports emotional balance, physical well-being, and a calm, resilient mind that is better equipped to navigate life with clarity and steady confidence. Growth, learning, and inner strength do not end at a certain age, they evolve. Mentally strong people understand that life remains meaningful when curiosity stays alive. They do not define themselves by what they can no longer do, but by what they are still willing to learn and experience. This mindset transforms aging from something to fear into something to embrace with confidence and purpose. Believing that growth is always possible keeps the mind active and engaged. Learning new skills, exploring new interests, or simply seeing familiar situations from a different perspective strengthens mental flexibility. Mentally strong people challenge the idea that change belongs only to the young. They recognize that experience combined with curiosity creates wisdom that continues to expand. For older adults, this belief protects emotional health. When growth is seen as ongoing, setbacks feel less final. Mistakes become lessons rather than failures. Each new effort reinforces the understanding that improvement is still within reach. This outlook reduces fear of trying and increases confidence in adapting to change. Growth does not have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as adjusting daily habits, trying a new routine, or learning something small each day. Mentally strong people focus on progress, not perfection. This approach reduces pressure and encourages consistency. Over time, small improvements add up to meaningful change. Maintaining inner strength also involves staying connected to purpose. Mentally strong people find meaning in contributing, whether through relationships, creativity, or service. Purpose gives direction to growth and adds depth to daily life. This sense of meaning supports resilience and emotional balance. A positive mindset plays a key role in sustaining growth. Mentally strong people speak to themselves with encouragement and patience. They allow themselves to evolve without rushing. This kindness creates a safe environment for learning and self-discovery. Physical habits support mental growth as well. Nourishing food, gentle movement, and adequate rest provide the energy needed to stay curious and engaged. When the body is cared for, the mind becomes more open to new experiences. This balance strengthens inner confidence. Over time, this belief in lifelong growth creates quiet strength. You stop measuring yourself against others or against the past. Instead, you focus on who you are becoming. Life feels less limited and more open. Mental strength deepens as you continue to learn, adapt, and grow with intention and grace, proving that inner strength is not defined by age, but by the willingness to remain curious, engaged, and hopeful at every stage of life.